in school, in university, somehow no longer interesting to the students because the students find out that after the graduate, they do not use much of the knowledge they were taught in the university. Most of them are just theoretically, not pragmatic, so that students don't want to spend their time much in the university. It's 4 years, and it took a lot of time and money so that university academic education is no longer interesting to the student. That's how they losing its value.
I would like to emphasize my first point here. Do you guys mention that education is not playing a great role in society today, and 70% of students have to be trained. However, as far as I know, the number of trained students only very high in developing countries where the curriculum is not appropriate. In many developing countries like the US or the UK, they have very practical curriculum, and students can really apply what they have learned and they work in the future.
Back to the statistic, you say 70% of the students have to be retrained when they get into their company, right? But if you don't have university degree, can you get into that job? Can you apply your application form without university degree? So that's important of academic education. Next step, many university students go and have part-time job. It is the place where they can apply the knowledge they learn at university into real life. And do you know that many university students realize the more importance of university or academic education when they get a new job? They realize that they lack some of the academic knowledge, or they need to learn more, or they regret the time that they not a lazy student at university. So that's the importance of academic education.
And furthermore, you have mentioned the skills are more necessary than basic knowledge. However, without the basic knowledge, you cannot start working anywhere, especially in some area like accounting and mechanism. Without academic knowledge, you cannot start working, and you cannot even have the skill to sharpen in your part-time job. And secondly, you said that it took many time money to spend in the university. However, it will take even much time and money if you practice. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to emphasize the first part is that we are living in the era of industrialization, of globalization. As true, it's not produced in a country only, and it's produced in many parts of the world. So it emphasizes the necessary for specialization, meaning that a person get a very good skill in doing just one thing. And imagine that if you don't go to the university, how can you get that skill to be a well-skilled worker? And secondly, go to the university, give you the background knowledge for you to go to your life. It is like you can get into a train and you can go far or you can go near. It depends on you. But you must have a ticket to get to that train. That is entering a university and study the academic knowledge.
Okay, so everybody is immature first. We are children first. We are children first, and then we later grow up and become adults, right? So that's the more important of academic education. We need a place where we can learn, or we can be instructed, we can get experience, we make mistakes, and we are directed out. We are shown our mistake, and we have time to fully grow up, to have the confidence into real life. And later we have the prime examples of Bill Gates. He left his course at Harvard University to set up Microsoft, but 30 years later he came back and realized his problem with his father that, Daddy, I will come back and get my degree at Harvard University. So one of the richest men in the world still need degrees, still need academic education. Even if he's one of the most successful, he still need academic education.
And besides, this is not about the education only, it is about the development of the whole society. You need the knowledge to move on, especially in many countries like Vietnam or many neighboring countries. We are in need of skilled workers, but unfortunately, not many students go to the university to get their skills to go back. And that is why Vietnam's economy is very stagnant. And we cannot be a rich country if the students refuse to go to the university and get their vocational training. And besides, if you get a
gain new knowledge, then think that imagination is more important than knowledge. But you must have knowledge first.
When you mention Bill Gates in your argument, and I give you an example of Steve Jobs in his speech in Stanford University in 2005. He says that one of his luck is not going to university. Yes, and why? Just because when you need skills, yes, and skills that must come from school. You said that degree is very important, but I think that a person with a degree of foreign trade university is not better than anyone else who doesn't have a degree, because it depends on your ability, not your degree. Yes. Furthermore, you say that people go to university just to be fully grown up. Yes, but I think that life is the best school ever. Yes. Yes. And when you go out, you experience, you get skills that makes you become better. The job and your future life.
I heard that you said that you need a ticket to get on the train. So that you just need a degree, you don't need the knowledge in the university, do you? It's a biggest mistake of the student and the teacher that they just need the result. They don't need. They just need the diploma. They just need the grades. They need good grades, good diplomas to get the good job after they graduate. They don't really need the real knowledge they get into
It's fine. Regarding the school, I think that we all agree that that's the place we go to get the knowledge. That way, that the last generation convey to transmit their knowledge to the next generation. But I think in today's life, the situation changed a little bit. For example, many schools are open, and their first and foremost purpose is make money. I don't say that all schools do so, but many, so that they put a great emphasis on economical purpose. Students in turn go to school to get good grades, to get good diploma, as I have already said, and they go to school to please their parents. They get high grades, good results to please their parents. It's because of the people ego. They want to prove that they are good. They prove that they are excellent in studying. They want to be people of high class with diplomas, and they study in prestigious university. That's I think that it serves for the need of fame, for the need of the respect from other people. Those going to the university is no longer come from the need of knowledge. I think that is the point that university is losing its true value. And I think that we live in a modern society. We are developing, so the effectiveness is important. Yes, you can have knowledge. We have no skills. You have no experience. You don't know how to use knowledge. It's a waste. And I think that's why academic education is losing value. Sometimes it's only give the raw knowledge without the way how to solve this, how to use this. That's the problem. Yes, and that's why many students trying to find a way to get what they need in the skills to make them more successful. Yes, and schools and academic education involves many knowledge. Yes, that is not necessary. Yes,
Steve Jobs didn't leave school, and many other successful person in the world didn't leave school. However, as I have mentioned before, that even Bill Gates didn't want to go back to school to finish his schooling because he understands the importance of vocational training. And even in the case of Steve Jobs, he had learned the elegant design of the iPhone from a course on designing himself, and instead of emphasize the need for the ability of people to grow in a job rather than the skill they have. Just take an example. If you want to grow a tree and you have only the seeds, even if it is a good seed, it can never grow to be a high tree because you don't have the water, the rain, the air, and the university providing all the things in your career?
Back to say here we say academic education, not just university. You can neglect your university, but can you neglect your primary school? Can you go to online without being able to read or to listen or to other people? Furthermore, we say about like voluntary university student rights. Here we are sitting in a competition in banking academic, right? If you have just student excellent in English with no organization, with no network, can we organize such a large competition like that? We need network, we need organization. That's why we need to go on academic education in a formal institution.
First, I would like to emphasize that in order to get to the top of the ladder, you have to take the first step, and every journey begins with the first step. So if you don't build a very strong base, how can you get to the top of your career? And learning is a way for you to get the knowledge you need to be successful. And secondly, you mentioned that the skill we learn in the university is just the material. So without the material, how can you produce the good and sell it everywhere? And furthermore, as I have mentioned before, that in many countries we are lack of skilled workers, and even there are some workers in our country, we cannot manage them because the people are not good enough. So how can we get good people? It's only by learning. It will take 5 years for a worker to be growing trained. However, it will take only a year if they go to the training, education, and they become a skilled worker.
And we say that we don't need academic education because academic education is just placed as a component on grades and assessment. Imagine that there's no grades or no formal assessment and everyone going his own way. How can we have a common standard to identify who is best and who is not, who is good, who is not good? We need a common standard between each school, between schools, between students, between countries. So maybe in some cases assessment is not fair, assessment is not right, but we need it to find out who is good, who is not good.
And what you have mentioned is that sometimes the education we are studying is not applicable in the life. However, what you are thinking is applying a fixed model to the educational system. Education does change, and in every year the Vietnamese government carry out a reform in the education and curriculum. That shows the effort we make to make the education become more applicable in the world. And besides, you mentioned that people go to school because they have their ego and they want to show they're proud of other people. But the question here is that why people emphasize on the degree? Why do they want to have a degree? Is it the result they have? Is it something? In order to get that degree, they have to try their best, they have to gain the knowledge, and they have to really grow up to have that degree. So
now the year says that students have 6 months of internship and then 6 months go back to the university. So that's the case when academic education student applies their academic education into real life. We need academic education and real life experience.
Not playing such an effective role in our study because when you graduate, you go to work, and 70% of graduates needs to be trained again in the company. Why? Because that when we work, the things we need is the skills, not only the knowledge. So therefore, nowadays many young people take part in a vocational course or company so that they forget about the knowledge.
Alright, we want to just pick up points what I have just stated in the green gate. First of all, I would like to emphasize the importance of industrialization now today, and it leads to the specialization in many areas of life, which require people to have very high skill to survive in the competitive world. Secondly, going into a university or receive traditional training will give you the background knowledge, and it will just give you a ticket to go. Without a ticket, it cannot be successful. And second, and next, not everyone really understanding. There's 9.4 billion people in this life. There's only one Bill Gates. There's one Mark Zuckerberg. So, going to a university and getting education is a way for people to get access to the resources so they can grow in their job and grow in their skills.
Academic education is a place, it's a platform for people to go on further in their life, just like water. It's important, it's not symbolize what we want every day, but without water, we cannot live